All right, I went ahead and reloaded it. Okay, I just went ahead and reloaded, restarted the stream. So if you were in here with me before, some of you said you couldn't hear or see, but now it looks like everything is good. Hopefully it's all fine. It's showing up now on my phone and everything. So again, what I said a moment ago, and I'm sorry if you couldn't hear me. I said I can't believe that we're in week number 5. That the first half of our class is completely over at this point. But what I want to do is talk a little bit about weeks 3 and 4, just really quickly, and then we'll focus on what we have going on this week for week 5. I see some of you kind of joining me back again. Hopefully everything's coming through. Okay, now I restarted it, and that seems to have made a difference. Those of you who are with me now, is everything okay? You hear and see me now. Can you hear me now, right? Hopefully. Okay, good. All right, I'm glad it's all working now. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over to Canvas together now that hopefully we're up and running. So if you look at weeks 3 and 4, we had our 2 discussions for each week, and then of course we had the exam. Overall, a lot of you are doing a great job. I did find that I gave a lot of people the feedback of I wanted a little more, right? So if you find that you're missing a couple of points on the discussions, you're getting like a 12, 13, 14 points, try and give me a little bit more in the discussions for this week so that you can earn those full points. In general, think about them more like kind of like mini papers or mini essays, especially like if we look at, for example, on the one related to dreams and dream theories, I really wanted you, as I mentioned here, to describe the theories in order to receive full credit. That was something that quite a few of you, I think, could have built on a little bit. I think a few people might have missed this last question here, too, of why do you personally think that we dream? So in general, if you're missing a couple of points, try and give me a little bit more. Also, don't forget that peer response. I know it's only 2 points, but it's a very easy 2 points that you definitely want to be getting. Thank you all for the feedback on the self-assessment. A lot of you seem to be pretty happy with your grade and how you're doing so far. And I see that in the exam as well, right? So if you look at the scores on the exam, I wrote it down here on this page. The average, oh, so I don't have it here. I forget where did it go? I wrote it down somewhere in front of me. Oh, here we go. So the average amount of time was about 62 minutes or so for the exam. The high score was 100. There were quite a few people who got 100, and the low was a 36. So a little bit of a range, but the average score was right around an A, just underneath an A. So a lot of you should be really happy with how you did. Again, please continue to use the exams as a learning opportunity. If you feel really good about your score, keep doing the same thing. If you wish you had done a little bit better, we're halfway through, so you still have 2 more exams to go. Really good time to kind of switch things up. If you're not doing the study guide, that's definitely something I would consider adding. And again, on the discussions, definitely start giving me a little bit more if you find that you're missing a couple of points each week. Otherwise, with weeks 3 and 4 in the books, again, we're past the halfway point of the semester for our class. We move into week 5 and 6. Everything from weeks 5 and 6 is due by May 4th at 11:59 p.m. May the 4th be with you, right? That's a fun day always for celebrating Star Wars. But for week 5, we have chapters 9 and 10. So we're looking at motivation and emotion. As always, you'll want to do 3 things for each chapter. Read the chapter in the textbook, read the lecture that I put together for you, and then watch the lecture video. And if you do those 3 things, hopefully it'll really help you with understanding the materials. Don't forget to click on any links that I give you or watch any videos I give you. All of that together is going to hopefully help you to understand. You do have 2 discussions this week and then a little self-assessment. Since we had an exam last week, we have another self-assessment. So let's take a look at those 3 things. So for discussion 9, as always, you have my instructions up here at the top, followed by a little video. For this one, kind of a lighter topic, maybe kind of every pun intended there, we're looking at motivation and hunger. So specifically with this one, the idea of fad diets. So for this, what you're going to do is select a fad diet of your choice. It could be one that you've tried, or maybe somebody you know has tried. You're going to conduct a little bit of research on it using the internet or any books or people you know who have tried it. And then you're going to report the following information. So the first question, what are the main components of your fad diet? How does it work? What are you required to do or not do? What is the timeline? What can you eat or not eat? Kind of looking at all the components describe the fad diet to us. What are the main advantages and disadvantages of your diet? Another way of thinking of this might be the rewards and dangers, the pros and cons. And then finally, what role do you think that the media, movie, TV, music, magazines, social media, plays in contributing to negative self-views that often accompany a desire to lose weight and or eating disorders like anorexia and bulimia? So kind of looking at the role of the media, social media, and so on, you could give me examples. You could kind of reflect and talk about that. When you're ready, you'll hit reply. And then don't forget to also reply to a classmate. You can see quite a few of you have already done this, which is fantastic. For discussion number 10, similar style and format. This one is related to emotions. So if we click on discussion 10, again, you have my instructions followed by my video, and then an extra bonus video of 2 truths and a lie, which I'll tell you about in a moment. So for this one, we're looking at emotions and theories of emotion. I think the video might be helpful for you in kind of getting some tips. But what you're going to do is you're going to explain an emotional reaction from all 3 theories of emotion discussed in the book, the James Lang, Cannon-Bard, and Schachter-Singer theories. You can select like an emotional reaction that you had to something recently. You can create something if you want to be creative. But what I'm looking for you to do is to describe the chain of events that led to your emotion from each of the 3 theories. And this could be kind of bulleted out or like with arrows, whatever makes the most sense with you for you. There are some diagrams in the book that are kind of helpful for looking at the chain of events. But make sure that you're doing it from all 3 theories. So you'll come up with an emotional reaction and an event and explain it from all 3. The next question and last question here, what are some ways to spot a lie? You can reference the lecture or your own personal experiences, but definitely be specific. How do you know when somebody's lying? What are some of the things to look for? And then just for fun, if you want, I made a little bonus video. Speaking of lying, there's that game, 2 Truths and a Lie. I'm horrible at this game because I'm an awful, awful liar, though I did rehearse quite a bit for the video, so we'll see. But if you want, just for fun, you can watch my video and try and guess which one is the lie. Totally optional and up to you, but if you'd like to give it a shot, you are more than welcome to do so. And I'll, of course, reveal the lie when I send out the feedback at the end of these 2 weeks. The other thing that you have is the self-assessment. Just like the other one that you did, you have unlimited time. Please be honest. It's worth 5 points, but I'm looking for you to reflect on your progress in the class so far. How do you feel about your grade? Is there anything you want to keep doing or do differently? So be honest, but it's not timed, so you have as much time as you want. There will obviously be an extra credit question here in a moment, and then I'll post the recording. So I do have a couple of reminders for you. I typed this one out earlier, so I'll copy and paste it in and then give you the other reminders as well. So as always, if you could take a moment to double check your subscription status, right? Like Evelyn and Bianca, both of you lost the cake that was on there, and then up here as well, the Student Spring. If you have lost that little football cake and have a chance to renew it, I would really appreciate it. It's only good for 30 days, so at this point, I imagine a lot of you have fallen off. But that, again, really helps me and saves me time, so thank you so much for those of you who figured that out. The other reminder I have for you, if you're looking ahead, right, I'll put this in the chat. Our next Twitch live stream will be on Wednesday, April 30th at 11:45 a.m. Okay, so that'll be our week number 6 Twitch live stream where I'll go over the exam and everything from week number 6 just to make sure you feel good about it. And again, you have the opportunity to ask me questions and stuff if anything has come up for you. Just a chance to join me live. And then let me give you the extra credit question for this week. If you're joining me live, then you're set. If you're watching this later as a recording, just make sure that you're still subscribed on Twitch. So here's the extra credit question. I'll copy and paste it into the chat. And this is the week number 5 Twitch extra credit question. What is the difference between intrinsic and extrinsic motivation? Explain and give an example of each. What is the difference between intrinsic and extrinsic motivation? Explain and give an example of each. And since we're in week number 5, you'll click on optional Twitch extra credit number 5 right here. And then up at the top, you can click on start assignment. And that'll bring up this box where you can type your response. and go ahead and hit submit, get your confetti burst and moons. Why not, right? So again, feel free to take advantage of these. It's 2 points every single week, which will definitely help with a couple of missed points on a discussion or the exam or whatnot. Otherwise, get going on everything from week number 5. Week 6 is also open for you if you wanted to work ahead a little bit. Otherwise, other than that, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Kind of short and sweet, trying to keep these short and sweet, so I respect your time. But I will hang out for a little bit. If you do have any questions for me, you can put them in the chat. Or if you think of something later, you can, of course, email me. But thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. I know we're in like crunch time of the semester, so hang in there, take care of yourselves, and I'll hope to see some of you next week for week number 7. All right, thank you all so much. I'm going to minimize my video, but like I said, I'll hang out for a few minutes if you do have any questions for me. That way you have a chance to ask. Thank you too. Have a wonderful day. And again, I am still here. I'll hang out for a few minutes if you have any questions. Otherwise, if you think of something later, of course, just send me an email. Yes, I graded everything from the last 2 weeks. So every single thing that was submitted was graded. If you want to send me a quick email, I can go check once we're not live anymore. So if you want to send me an email, I can go back and check and see what happened. Because yeah, everything from the last 2 weeks has been graded. I graded it all back on Monday. Sure. Yeah, fine. We'll figure out what happened. And like I said, I am still here for a few more minutes if any of you do have any questions for me.